So I'm going to straight up say it. I did not understand Suburbicon. And not in the sense of the story. I understood the story. I understood what was happening throughout the movie. I understood the progression from beginning to end. But more in the sense that I did not understand that this movie is supposed to be quirky. But to me, it didn't work for me personally. I thought that it was very out there in a way that I didn't enjoy. And I really thought that it really suffered for it because this movie is an interesting idea. It is interesting to have the idea of 1950s suburbia, and then you realize underneath all the happy faces that there's darkness. That's cool, and that's been done before in other movies, but I just didn't really feel that it did much for it, and it was so awkward in a way. And I think that that's what they were trying to do, but to me it came off as bad. And I feel bad because George Clooney has directed really good movies, but this is one that I really didn't think worked for me personally. It really just felt like after the end of the movie, I felt like I learned nothing, gained nothing, I felt nothing. I didn't laugh, I didn't feel anything for any character. I didn't really. There's nothing that came out of this that makes me say that this was a good movie, but it's not a terrible movie. It's just one that is so hard to decipher for me. It's weird. There's a few select movies that usually come out where will be thinking, this probably isn't for me. It seems so out there in such a strange way, but maybe people will enjoy it. But for me personally, this was just not the type of weird that I enjoy. Even though, like I said, the idea is really cool. It's really interesting, or it is an interesting idea of just happy 50s suburbia, and then underneath there's darkness and people killing and people robbing. And they've got, of course, the race thing in this movie where a black woman and her child move in a neighborhood of all white 50s people. And it was weird because it felt kind of like it was haphazardly put in there because it doesn't really affect the Matt Damon thing at all. It just has them. The only thing it does is it has all the townsfolk away from Matt Damon's character and Julianne Moore's character and the kid. It has them. It has all the townsfolk away from them because of the African American woman. And it just felt like the race angle thing was just really weird. It didn't feel like it blended well with the actual story going on with Matt Damon and his family. It was really off, and it didn't work for me. And it reminded me much of a worse version of Pleasantville in that aspect, where Pleasantville, even though I do like that movie, I thought it did get weird how it changed, like, did the race angle in that movie, but I thought it was done better, even though I thought that it was a weird kind of switch in that movie. Like, I still like the movie Pleasantville, but I just thought that was weird. But this one just didn't feel like it was needed. It didn't even need to be in it because it didn't affect the overall Matt Damon plot. And it doesn't. It felt like it was written by two different groups of people, and it was kind of haphazardly sat into this movie, and it was odd. And like I said, George Clooney is a good director, and I think that, and it's the Coen brothers who wrote it, so that's odd. I don't know who's, I don't want to say at fault, but who did this way or that way in terms of the two different stories. It doesn't, to me it didn't make any sense. And like I said, George Clooney's a great director. Coen brothers are great writers and directors. And it's sad that I found this movie to be not very good. It's not terrible, but it's nothing that I'll remember. It's nothing that I never felt like I gained anything, and I never felt like I lost anything. It just felt like there was nothing. But it felt like it was just structured weird, and it didn't work for me personally. But, like, it's got good actors in it, and the actors do fine. Like, Matt Damon's fine. Julianne Moore is fine. She actually plays two characters, even though one character is kind of gone after the first like 10 minutes. But she plays two different characters in the movie, but then it's just one for the rest of the movie. But it's interesting, and and all the other actors are fine. It just was nothing to me, nothing that I will remember. Like I said, I feel bad. It's a movie that should have been one I probably should have enjoyed more, but it just reminded me so much of Pleasantville, but with the race angle that didn't need to be in this movie more than it did in Pleasantville. So to me it's just an odd mix, like an odd mix that made a weird whole, but it didn't work as a whole for me. It really didn't. It was so odd and so strange. So that was one of the movies of the week. Jigsaw I saw too, which was really good. Or I mean, the ending was good, but it's a Saw movie. It's not gonna be great, but I thought the ending was always gets me, even though it doesn't make sense. But then we got Thank You for Your Service too, which I haven't seen yet, but I'm excited. I hear that's maybe a good movie. Miles Teller's a good actor. So hopefully that's what I'll see next. So thanks guys for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.